Hello.
Hi.
Hi, everyone. Happy Thursday. I hope you all had a wonderful week and everything's going great. We'll start with Pam. How's your week been?
It's been fine, I guess. It's been rainy here, so I've been a miserable bitch. Not really, just I'm just in pain, so I'm just kind of like, meh. Sis, let's work out. And she's like, meh, I don't want to. So we've been having one of those weeks so far. The weekend was pretty good. I got to run around with Amy for a little bit over the weekend. We saw a really interesting power line shed roof situation going through a Starbucks drive-through. So that was fun. Yeah, things have been peachy keen. Anyway, Amy, how are you?
I'm doing really well. Just another busy week, rainy day today, which wasn't fun. Hung out with you, Chan, on Saturday. We had a lot of fun. We did. I got more fish.
Mhm.
That was exciting, and they're all still alive,
Yes.
which is amazing. And,
Good job.
Yeah, things are good. Just busy, turning into my busy season right now with the Jewish holidays and then vacations and stuff like that. So it's just kind of been work overload this week.
Yeah.
But yeah. So yeah.
Lady Love.
Not really much. Saturday went with Jason and we went and saw his mom. She had some things she needed some help with, so we hung out with her on Saturday. Other than that, just work. It's been raining here too.
Yuck. I don't like rain.
I like it when I'm home and I don't have to do anything. I don't like it when I have to go to work and we can't take the kids out for recess.
Right. Yeah. Then you're stuck inside playing board games and puzzles.
That's when you
Kinda.
play Heads Up, 7 Up. That's always been common when I was growing up.
Yeah.
Well, it's a lot different now because,
COVID, yeah.
COVID and everything. But so, yeah, it's really, can't really think of anything else. What about you, Kat?
Been working a bunch as always. Busy but good there. This week's just been a little rough, but hopefully, it'll be less rough soon.
Yeah. And you're here tonight with us,
Yes.
so let's have some chuckles and silly times and say the word fuck too many times and talk about dicks and food and all kinds of fun stuff. And maybe not in that exact order.
Some see dick as food. I mean, it's just
Right. How are you, Grims? What's up?
not much. Usual work. Hung out with Gort's grandparents today. No social distancing and whatnot, but I haven't seen them forever. So that was nice. Just kind of catch up, make sure everything's going good. Wise. They're probably like the youngest old grandparents in the world. Like there's not much younger than my own grandparents, but like they're like night and day. Like mine, well, my grandfather's not around anymore, but my grandmother still is like, she's always been like an old lady to me. I don't have a nicer way of saying that. She just always seemed old. But Gort's grandparents, they're just so young. Like you would swear they were like 60 years old and not grandparents, just how active they are like with their lives. And his grandfather still works in construction and like, lifts heavy things. And he's like,
wow.
Yeah, that's just amazing. I mean, he remade our bathroom upstairs, like with his other construction partners and stuff. And so the fact that he just keeps active and busy is just amazing. So it was just very nice because it is just tough, like to not see anyone. And so,
yeah,
I mean,
I feel like
go ahead.
My grandparents were older. I don't know. I don't really know if I thought of them as old. I thought my mom was old, but I thought my grandparents were cool as shit. Like there were things about my grandma that I thought were amazing, things about my grandfather that I thought were amazing, and I just didn't look at them that way. I don't know why.
I was kind of talking about that today with And I was kind of just talking about going over old photos because this past week was his grandfather's birthday. And so family, I posted old photos and one photo was of him and Gort's mother when she was like 2 years old or something like that. So they're much younger and whatnot. So it was kind of, he didn't tell me who it was. He just showed me the photo. It's like, who's this? And I recognized the little face. He still looked fairly similar. But I was talking about how when my grandfather passed, my grandmother has all these photos and stuff, and I never really saw them. And it was when he passed that he gave me like all the photo albums, and they were like, here, pick out photos that you like, and you put that as the memorial. So it's kind of like I'm seeing like all these things for the first time. I like took photos of them, and I asked for one of them to keep. But yeah, hold on one second. Sorry.
It's okay.
You see, you're okay if your dog barks because
it's okay.
I was waiting for them to hear her dog barking.
Yeah,
It's gonna create a shit show.
It'll go right.
Everywhere, like quick.
Like giving them the side eye, like don't you even.
Yeah. She was passed out before the show, completely passed out. This is now happy fun time.
Because mom can't pay attention.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So now she wants to bark at the neighbor boys and stuff.
It's like the kids do that. They won't talk to you for days, and the second you fucking pick up the phone, they want to know what spaghetti is made out of.
Hey, Mom.
Exactly.
Mom.
The molecular structure of a noodle, and you're like,
exactly.
Mine always comes out of his room and wants to like say hi to everybody, and it's like, and that's why occasionally you'll see like a this, that's my son doing a hi, and it's like, kiddo, you'll happily spend 6 hours in your room playing PlayStation and hang, on the computer or whatever. The minute I do this, he pops out. I'm like,
days, you won't acknowledge me. I'll be like, hey,
happy that Fiona's not here on Thursdays because you would literally see her doing like baton twirls with in the background. Like, look at me.
I feel that way with Gort. He knows we record at 8:30 every day, but still makes dinner 15 minutes before, like at 8:15. It's like, do you not know? Like, why? So I was happy that there was a little bit of delay start because he still was finishing up to go downstairs. Like, come on, like. But at least he does put on the show towards the end to see if we're done yet before coming back upstairs. So
well, that's good.
He's aware of the time frame because we go over time.
Oh yeah, Nick's actually out of the house. He found a D&D game, so
yeah. Nick's gone.
He's out of the house.
Holy shit! Throw a party.
I know. Oh, hell, I'm too tired for that.
I was gonna
that
say
would require a bra.
I was gonna say, Kat, maybe you should get drunk and fall out of your chair this time.
Yeah, exactly. We'll catch you on it.
Honestly, if I had thought of it, I would have mixed myself a drink before I sat down. I would have, but I didn't. I'll mix myself one after. But thankfully, this chair, no matter what I do, cannot tip. It's against a wall. my husband.
Give it a shot. You can still fall over the side.
This is
embarrassing story number 1 from Kat about Nick falling out of his chair. Go, Kat.
Oh yeah, this is fun, and so, Amy, just so you know, my husband, his name is Nick. He's just like me, a bit, big. We're not small people. He's doing a online hangout thing one night, and he's getting his drink on, and I don't care. If he wants to drink in the house, I don't care. As long as he's not drinking and driving, I don't care. Yeah. Well, I cared that night. I had to work the next day. I had gotten like very little sleep that week, and all I keep hearing is him in his little office going, woo! To this day, he's not allowed to make that sound.
And he's just a woo girl. That's kind of funny.
Yeah, woo girl.
Oh, it was hilarious because I actually, it was one of the hangouts that my husband was doing, and he called me down. He was like, Nick is trashed. You have to come down. So I come down, and I'm watching this unravel, and I'm like, oh shit. And as soon as he falls, and we hear Kate, I was like, you guys are dead.
She's
gonna
dead.
kill you.
You're all dead.
She's gonna kill you.
You're in so much trouble.
They all were like, hang up. And it was just like all of a sudden it just went, everyone just disappeared.
Oh my god. So I asked him a few times to shut up, and he was drunk enough and like silly enough he wasn't shutting up. And I finally even grabbed his mic and said, guys, hang the fuck up, please. This is killing me. And I go to bed, and he's like, oh, is she mad at me? Oh, I'm in trouble. And then you see him start to like
The
messing
guys,
around
the
with his
guys
stuff.
knew he was in trouble because he kept getting tangled up in like all the cords, and they were like, "Oh, he's gonna fall. He's gonna fall. He's gonna fall." And
He went
bam!
this way.
All of a sudden, all you see is my
Legs.
husband going ass over tea kettle with his big ass caveman feet. Boom! Just the feet are dangling like this.
On a video call, a
Yeah.
video hangout with
And I
all
have-
his friends.
I still have the video. And I love the video because you see the hallway light come on, me coming in, and the video ends. Well, this happened, 3 a.m, I guess, is when
I
he.
can't
around then?
remember.
It was something like that. Took me
It was
till after
pretty early in
6
the
a.m.
morning.
to get his ass off that fucking floor.
Oh shit!
Oh, I've never been that mad at that man in my life. And next week we'll be together 20 years.
Congratulations!
Wow, congratulations!
Thank you.
Congrats.
Yeah. And I've never been that mad before or since. But like there's video of this. So any now and then when I really want to laugh at my husband, I pull that video up and I just watch him go kaboom.
And this is one of those moments where Amy would look at me and go, "This is why I don't live with anyone."
That's right. Absolutely.
Oh my god. It was hilarious.
I would have left him on the floor.
I-
I would have just shut the door and been like, you know what? That's on you, bro.
I
Stay on
would
the
have, except for one thing.
There's glass detox.
Yeah, it's a very small room and it has glass detolfs against the wall. If he had flailed or kicked out, he would have had panes of glass cutting him.
Yeah.
I wasn't dealing with that. So I made him get up. I got him to bed. I didn't talk to him for about 24 hours at that point. After that point.
Brink's in the chat going, "For the record, I wasn't there, Kate. I did not instigate." And he's laughing.
No, that would have been Jason. I think Wolf may have been in there.
Yep.
Wolfie said it's classic moment. He
Wolf,
made that
Wolf
comment.
was there. Oh, who else? I think Vinny may have been
I
there.
think New York Mike was there actually.
That
think so.
may have been New York Mike. Oh God!
Yeah.
All I know
It was a hell of a night. It was a hell
it
of a night.
was. Jason woke me up. Like he called me and was like, "You get your ass down here now!" And I'm like, "What the fuck?" It's like
Brink says New York Mike was there. Maya.
okay, Yep.
I know Jason was there, of course.
Oh,
I don't,
yeah.
I don't remember who
'Cause
else.
he was-
Was
He's the
Rob
one who
there?
sent me the video.
Yeah.
Was Rob there? Was Milton there? Or Sam? I don't remember. It
I
doesn't
can't
matter.
remember.
Anyway.
Maya was there. Maya was there.
Yeah. Oh, and speaking of Maya, we need to congratulate her on
Yes.
her successful name change.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That is fantastic
That
news.
is
Legal. Woo,
legal.
woo.
She is now legally Maya.
That's great. Hey, coffee mug check. I'm Wonder Woman tonight, guys. Woo!
I'm just
Speaking
a
of
glass
woo,
of tea.
sorry about that, Kat. Oh. Yeah. Amy's got Gem. What do you got?
Fortnite,
Fortnite.
Got a glass.
Nice.
and then also my
I did get a new mug, but it's upstairs. A new Harry Potter mug. It's the Mischief Man. It's just the
mhm. It's a temperature changing mug.
I don't know if it's that. It's from Walmart. It was like a $5 mug from
Oh, okay.
Walmart. But I was like, I couldn't. It was of the mortar of the map. So I was my brain just went.
I think Wolfie saw your dog, Amy. He says, "I see a dog!" Exclamation point.
Dog.
I was dealing with. There's a reason why I hide up in the other room because I don't have my dog and I don't have the cats. So I was dealing with a dog and a cat trying to get up on my lap, and the dog being jealous of the cat.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So that's why you saw me like pointing. 'Cause I'm like telling the
Get
dog
out.
like go to
Go.
your bed. And then the cat, I'm just like, I had to like push the cat away. And of course, I feel bad because he's old. But I'm like, I don't need you trying to climb up onto my chest right now.
My luck, mine will start hotboxing me because he's right next to me, literally right next to me. But he's in Boston and they love to fart.
Mhm.
Oh, Magnus is the same way. And oh my God, all you hear is this little
Yeah, and then the
And then
stench.
it's just like,
Oh no.
oh,
Maisie's audible. Maisie goes like you can hear it. You're like, whoa, dude. Holy
actually,
shit.
you guys want to hear something funny? And since Nick's not here, I can embarrass the hell out of him.
Uh-oh.
He came to visit me at work the other day. He needed to pick up the debit card because, of course, he couldn't find his. So whatever. Okay, so he swings by my work to pick up the debit card, and he's like, while he shows up, they just let him in the back. Everybody knows him. He comes back. I'm expressing a dog's anal glands at the time.
Good times.
And I'm squeezing them, and they overflow the paper towel because there's only so much.
Oh
they
no.
And it starts hitting the table, and Nick's standing there like,
Oh no.
back and farther away.
Oh.
It
Oh,
was awesome.
God. Oh my.
Oh, well,
Well, before
not
we
the
get
glamorous part of my job, but
yeah, sure, it's glamorous. Why not?
hey,
Before we get too far into some embarrassing stories, I want to know if Grimm's got any new pins because
Mhm.
this is like the biggest
That's
the
funny.
thing every week. I'm like, what did Grimm? What
Yes.
I
Pin
didn't want to
haul.
go too ham this week. I did get a lot of stuff, but a lot of it's kind of more Harry Potter whatnot. But this one I liked because I felt a little more themed. It did happen to come in. I've shown her pins before, Laser Brain Patch Co. I pulled up the Instagram so I can show you better detail of it. But this one, it fits for some of our theme, and I had to buy it. So waste of money or better idea. I didn't do a full setup because it's not a whole lot of things, but I'll make myself bigger. So it's eggplant for
Nice.
Keen.
Oh
For
wow.
Keen.
So funny.
And it said one of them says, "I solemnly swear I'm up to no good," which of course is the
Mhm.
Marauders map.
Yes. Thank you.
Getting that in, and there's an Adam Driver because of course Adam Driver, and I showed you the Adam Driver pins, and then there's a Tom Felton because Tom Felton love or whatnot. So for one of the other pin makers, she's like really into peen, as she does. So everything ate that. They also made a little notebook
Oh,
Nice.
that's
as
cute.
well, so I got that, and then a little sticker too of that.
Nice.
But I had to get
Very
the whole
cool.
thing. So to me,
Worth it. Money
it was
worth it.
I thought it was funny. It was hilarious to add in. So I thought that was a very fitting, like inside joke style pins. And I'm like,
Yeah.
I don't really get too many of those because I like them as a certain thing, but these ones just were too funny, and I thought you guys would get a kick out of them because penis.
Right.
I
Absolutely.
saw a super cool David Bowie pin, and I thought of you.
Okay,
I
okay.
think it was like this week sometime. I think I was like scrolling on Facebook or Instagram, and those ads come up, and I was like, oh my god, that's so cool. But yeah, so I thought of you this week.
Thank you. Yeah, pins.
Aw.
I love pins. They're just amazing. I love just the work that people put into them because they just, oh god, I've gone down an unfortunate rabbit hole of Disney recently, specifically The Fox and the Hound, because it doesn't get a lot of love, and so I found like a couple of them, but they're all like sold out, and it's just like no one makes any pins of those because it's always the usual, like Mulan, Cinderella, Little Mermaid, all those stuff, which are all still really good. I just kind of like some of those odd and end ones.
Yeah.
Fox and the Hound of Love.
So I actually finally watched the new live action Mulan. I gotta say, it was damn good.
I
Sis
liked
watched
I've
it.
seen it myself.
She liked
And
it.
I actually think I preferred it over the animated one.
That I'll disagree with and argue all day for because it's still because the original Mulan is at least funny and it has like the fantastical. I mean, it doesn't have Mushu, so I mean,
Yeah, I get that, but I don't know. I still thought it was really good.
no, I feel that it was a really good, well done movie for a realistic Mulan, putting it all everything kind of realistic. I mean, it was a shame that she didn't do the haircut. I think that's
I was waiting for
the one gripe that I have on it. Like, she didn't need to keep long hair. They could have easily cut her hair short, and she still. I mean, she had short hair at the end, so I don't see why. That's kind of like her signature, is that she has a short cut, and so for them to keep it long, I didn't really care for that.
I that would probably bother me if I watched. I didn't watch it yet.
Yeah,
but I understand what you mean about the live action thing because I I really loved the Jungle Book one almost more than the cartoon, even though I love the cartoon. The live action Jungle Book was fucking awesome, man.
I don't know. See, I never got into
Christopher
it.
Walken, come on. I love Walken. He's the greatest.
But him singing the song that I want to be like you is a little too weird with him.
I
I really, really like that song a lot.
Mhm.
But it's just so, I don't know, with his voice and the way that he talks, it almost seems like a caricature of the song, which is not what he's doing. He's clearly trying to sing it as best as he can, but it's just like, it just feels like it's a joke of the song.
That could be why I like it. I don't know.
Probably, because I mean, everyone makes fun of him with his
I love
signature
Walken
voice,
though.
so.
I love Walken.
I do too.
But it's when I saw him playing, was it King Louis? Like I was just like, oh my god, I didn't realize that he was in the movie. So when he started talking, I was just like, oh, what is going on?
Yeah, it was pretty badass. And then of course, Bill Murray. I mean, he just makes everything awesome. I don't care.
Oh, I love Bill Murray.
Bill Murray. Maybe that's what I liked about it, was like all the, the weird.
I feel it was done well.
Actor
it was
things.
definitely done well. Of course, it had its own different ending, so of course that's good. I appreciate that. But both that and Mulan had like its own kind of different ending as well, and I did appreciate it. Like
I think what I liked about the Mulan was that she didn't get the prince.
Spoiler.
She wasn't saved by the prince.
Well, she never was really saved by the prince. She saved the country, which is what makes her different as a Disney princess, is that she is such a symbol of standing up and confronting gender norms and just, what it means to be a woman and be a contributing member to the family. I think that's such a big
powerful thing.
Mhm.
Yeah. And so I think that Mulan does have such a huge impact.
Can I show you this picture? Can you see this? Do you see what's going on in this picture?
Oh my
The
god.
What's going in the
hell? Okay.
Yeah, we were just sitting in the drive-through, and I looked over and I was like, why is that like that? And why did they cut a hole in that roof to put the
I
I
don't
just
even
wanna know the
understand.
backstory of that.
How would you do you call the power company to find that out, or do you go to that business because it's a shed on the back of a parking lot around a business? Or do you go to that business and you say, hey, let's talk. I want to know what the hell that situation is, because that shed is old as shit. Like, it's just old fucking nasty ass shed. And they're guidelines. They're not even like electrical lines. There's no electric into that shed. So how do you find that out?
Like, whose idea was that? Like,
Yeah.
A lazy
Can't-
person's idea.
A cheap, lazy person.
Yeah, like 1 foot one way, 2 feet the other way, something. Anything? Kenya? I don't know. It doesn't. Whatever. I still can't get the image out of my head because I just want to. I don't know. We might have to stop there or something. I might have to. Friggin' please. Be like,
really
hey,
concerned of what's happening over in this
just
location.
curious.
I think we need to approach it in a way that, like, we go in there and we're just like, hey, did you know there's a hole in the roof of your shed? Do you know that? Like, we need to act concerned,
Yeah.
Like,
Okay.
you're on their side. Their property is damaged. We're here to fight for you or something. I don't know. But I think we need to approach it.
We're concerned about the state of the roof of your shed.
You're gonna be like, are you with the building permit section? They'll probably be like,
Absolutely not. We're just
But we should start videotaping this stuff, Amy. Like, if we're gonna start doing that kind of crap, we need to have, like, I don't know, somebody needs their phone on and just make these awkward situations even more awkward.
like,
anyway,
speaking of awkward situations,
That's a good idea.
On Saturday, before I was going to come and pick you up,
mhm.
I stopped up at Turkey Hill which, by the way, my Turkey Hill, like, which is like 4 blocks up the street, has the weirdest hours. Like sometimes you go there at like noon on a Monday and they have the cones up and they're closed. And like, it's just been like, it's just kind of annoying. Well, I went up there Saturday morning to get my coffee and they were open, but then I wanted to real quick before I went in to the store, place an order to get photos printed at Walmart. So I was just going to send it through my phone. So I'm sitting in the parking lot, going through my phone, like doing my order for Walmart.com. And my passenger door opens and I'm just like, and this woman who's like on her phone gets in, sits in my passenger seat and shuts the door. And I'm kind of like, right? And so she's just sitting there and all of a sudden she looks up. Now she has a mask on, right? She looks up and she goes, holy shit, you're not my friend. This isn't her car. I'm in the wrong car. And I was like,
Oh my God.
I'm sorry. Like,
You'd be like, do you want to be friends? Just make it worse. And then lock the door.
There were just so many thoughts going through my head because I was like, am I getting carjacked? And then I was thinking, well, if I'm getting carjacked, they would have came in on my side. So I think I'm okay. But like, who is this person? And I don't know them. I don't like, and she just literally, it was like a good 30 seconds because she had to like shift her purse. She got in. She had her coffee in her hand, her phone in her other hand, and she's just like on her phone. She sits down. She gets like settled in, and she looks up and like, it wasn't even an instant
thing. You just like are like,
it was like a good like 5 to 10 seconds. And she was like, she literally looked me up and down and was like,
oh my God.
holy shit, you're not my friend. And I was like, no, I'm not. And I'm sorry. And she's like, I'm in the wrong car. I'm in the fucking wrong car. And like got out. And like, as she's walking away, she's screaming, oh my God, I just got in that lady's car. I just got in that lady's car. Oh my God. And I'm like in my car, like laughing hysterically. I was just like,
oh my
God. This happen? This shit always happens to me. Like everywhere I go. Shit like
She's serious. She's
and I don't mean to sound like weird, but it's like literally never a dull moment. Like this shit always happens to me. So, but I just thought it was hysterical, and I kind of felt bad for her because she was kind of mortified, but at the same time, it was just like,
that's gonna be one of those things that's gonna wake her up at 3 a.m. and go, oh God, that time I got in that lady's car. She's gonna feel shame for that. Her great grandchildren are gonna know that story.
Well, and after she left, I kind of felt like a void or something. Like maybe we should have like, hi, I'm Amy. Oh, hi, I'm, Martha. You know what I mean? Like we should have like, that was a moment to meet somebody new, and it just didn't happen. You know what I mean? Like she went off and she's out there living her best life in her friend's car, and I'm sitting in mine like laughing hysterically. So just so funny. And like
That's
it happened,
awesome.
and I was just like, oh, it happened. And then when I picked you up, I wasn't even like, oh my God, guess what just happened to me? I was like, in the middle of the day, I was like, oh shit, you know what happened this morning? Like this rando got in my car and thought she was in the right car, but she wasn't. It's just
That's awesome.
Good times.
That is awesome.
I can't say that I've ever done that or had that happen to me. No. I did accidentally think that another car was mine when I first got my FJ. Because there's somebody at the Target up the street here whoever works there, they have a white FJ and it looks just like mine. And I accidentally thought it was mine pretty early on, right after I got mine. Now I can tell the difference. I'm like, oh yeah, that's not mine. It's not, because there's like gray bumper corners on theirs and mine's all black. And I'm like, I got it. I know it's not my car. But
I did
JD,
it once. I was like in my mid-20s and I was leaving work, and I had a Chevy Cavalier, a green one, and it had gray interior, and I went out to the parking lot, totally got in this car, and I'm like, I don't have tan interior. Why are my seats brown? And then I was like, oh, this isn't my car. And then it's like so awkward because you got to get out, and like you don't like. It's just an overwhelming, awkward feeling. And then you like shut the door like real nice because you don't want, like.
And you're hoping like no one sees you. And, like...
Yeah, and then you have to do the walk of shame of like, where the fuck did I park my car? And let me go find it and get in my car and drive away. And then everybody is gonna know that you were totally like, oh, she got in the wrong car.
And that's like the worst though. So when you're like, where did I park my car? And you're like, try
Beep,
to
beep,
use
beep,
the
beep.
find it.
but see, there was a time when we didn't have the beeper thing.
No,
Yeah.
I had the roll downs in that car. I didn't even have like automatic. Like you rolled that shit down. I didn't have a beep beep. I didn't. We didn't lock our cars. That's how I got in the tan interior car. You know what I mean? Like just open the door and get in.
Well, I've had the thing where like all the cars I've had that didn't have a little beeper that could find it, or distinct enough looking that I didn't have trouble. But my car that I have now, it's a white Kia Optima, the most ubiquitous car on a Florida roadway. It is a white sedan, 4-door something. I have walked up to a car in a parking lot, hit the beep beep, thinking it was my car. It's not beeping. Why is it not beeping? And my car's 2 spaces over. Okay. Now I have trouble.
The worst for me is like when I forget which car I'm driving sometimes. Like if I'm like running out and I take a different car and then I'm like, I walk out in the parking lot and I'm like, fuck, what car did I have? What did I drive?
Brian
I literally had to sit there and go, and then I had to look at the keys and go, okay, yeah.
Brian says he tried to open someone else's car in a parking lot thinking it was his. And then he says, soon after changing jobs, there's been a couple of times where I've driven all the way to the wrong /old workplace.
Yeah.
Ginkgo, my friend. Ginkgo biloba might benefit you. I'm being silly. I'm being silly. But no, I mean, autopilot's a thing. I once drove. I used to work overnights, and I'm driving home after a ridiculously long shift because my boss called and said, "Oh, I'm going to come in 4 hours late. Is that okay?" I have already 12-hour shift, dude. Please. So I'm driving back after like 16-hour shift. I'm zoned. A cop was behind me for like 2 miles trying to pull me over before I noticed that they were behind me.
I said, did they think that you're avoiding them, or
I finally pull over and she's like, honey? I'm like, I'm sorry. I said, I just worked 16 hours. I didn't realize you were behind me. I'm just really tired. I'm just trying to get home. She's like, I got that. I understand that totally. And I'm in weird scrubs. I had the look of exhaustion on my face.
Yeah.
She's like, because I was behind you there for a couple minutes. I said, I'm sorry. I'm just like, I own it. I'm sorry.
Thank you for making sure I was safe.
Well, instead of getting me on a ticket, which I was doing miles over the speed limit, I got either a written warning or a failure to obey a posted speed control device.
Yeah.
You know, one of those, like, I forget that time if it was, I think it might have just been the written warning, actually. She was like, just get home safe. I was like, thank you. But,
that happened to me once, not quite like that, but when I was down at school, and it had been a long day, and I was picking up my little cousin from a school event. And I mean, I fairly knew the area around, but I was sometimes able to play the I'm not from around here card, even though I pretty much knew like the area because of family.
Yeah.
So I'm driving, and she was at a skating rink for a school event, and it's right next to a small kind of like private college, and this one road gets a lot of like college students speeding and stuff, so they monitor it. And I guess I'm not used to stop signs as you merge onto roads, because around here you just have a yield.
Mm-hmm.
So I automatically was on autopilot, and I didn't stop. I kind of did it yield. And I'm driving, and I'm on the phone with Jason. And I pull into the parking lot of the skating rink, and next thing I know, I see this cop car pull right behind me, and I'm like, I need to call you right back. I think I'm getting pulled over by the cops. And he's like,
no.
what? So of course, like, they wrote me a ticket, and I'm sitting here going, like, I'm trying to like beg them. I'm like, I'm so sorry. I'm not from around here. I go to school down at VCU. I'm just, I'm just here to helping out for someone. And she at least didn't write a bad ticket. It was still, I was like, shit. It was just one of those, I was like, and of course, like, my cousin sees it, and she's like, oh, you got a ticket too? My mom gets them all the time on this road. And I tell my aunt, and she's like, yeah, they're notorious, because that is one of their revenues is tickets on that road. And I was so pissed at myself.
I kind of avoid some of those specific roads around where I live. I know certain ones, but I kind of live in the area where they do like to, what they call it, like traffic stopping or no, whatever, like catch speed trap. That's the word I'm looking for.
Oh.
So one road is worse than the other one, so I always try to take the other one instead. I don't like to use the other one all that often.
Well, our parkway, which is, I mean, it pretty much spans a good chunk of this side of the county. Is the speed limit's 50, which is ridiculous because no one goes 50.
Mm-hmm.
You're pretty much going 60 to 70.
Yeah.
And so they decide, when the county decides that they need some money, they do a 50 means 50. And everyone hates it.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone hates when they decide to do the 50 means 50, and they'll pull people over.
Yeah.
Oh, it pisses me off. I'm like, why? Leave us alone. We're not doing anything. People are just driving. Leave us alone.
Nah, I mean, it is what it is, I guess.
Yeah.
No one else have anything good? I've shared most of my embarrassing stories. I was trying to think of some, but I feel like I've already shared a ton of them.
I've got one that it's actually me that I embarrassed myself badly.
Go ahead.
Okay. First of all, why did I open my mouth? Okay.
Because you love us. And you want to tell us.
Nick and I are going to be together 20 years very soon. And 20 years ago, when we first got together, I had gotten invited to my cousin's wedding in South Carolina. My dad calls me up. He's like, hey, your cousin's getting married. You're invited with a +1.
Mm-hmm.
I said, oh, awesome. Let me check with this guy that I'm dating and see if he'd want to go. We hadn't been dating horribly long. So, meeting my entire family on my dad's side in one big go. He had a right to say no, but he didn't. He's like, yeah, sounds like fun. Why don't we make a road trip? You go back up to Pennsylvania, see your mother's side, and then go up to Massachusetts and meet my family.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. So I called my dad up, all excited. I'm like, Dad, I got a +1 for the wedding. And my dad says to me, he's like, oh, cool. So 2 rooms? I said, oh, no, just 1. The minute the words left my mouth, I'm like, come back.
Come back.
I just admitted to my father I'm having sex.
Yeah. Yeah.
And he didn't care. There was a pause. There was a okay.
You have to assume you're an adult. At this point, you're an adult.
Yeah, but that's kind of like an awkward scenario depending on your relationship with your parents. You know what I mean? Like,
I'm the man's only daughter. I'm his only child. I'm his daughter.
Mm-hmm.
And so there's a little bit of that, I'm sure intellectually he knew I had a boyfriend, I'd be having sex. But for me to straight out say, oh no, we only need 1 room.
Yeah, just 1 room. No,
and basically admitting it. And
would have been worse. Like, oh no, he wasn't the first one.
Wait, what was the question again? That's always how.
Yeah, exactly.
That's how you save your ass in those situations. You're like, wait,
Yeah.
wait, I'm sorry, I was thinking about something else. What was the question?
Oh no, it was bad. I was just like,
Crap! Now all my family's gonna be like, "Akacha-chan, we knew you heard us."
yeah, pretty much. I was glad my dad, he just kind of rolled with it. He's like, oh, okay. You know, there was that pause where like we kind of like silently acknowledged what I just said, but we just kept moving. And he didn't make me feel bad. I mean, he didn't, you know, my dad and I don't have that type of relationship where like he has ever like bossed me around or whatever.
Mhm.
But for me to, I bright red. I turned bright red. I looked like a damn lobster. I was like,
my dad doesn't even acknowledge people I'm trying to introduce him to unless they're female. If there's a female person in the room, he'll be like, "Oh, hi. How are you?" And he'll want to talk to you and he'll want to get to know you and everything. And if you have like your boobs hanging out, he'll make some lewd comments about, you know, you might want to cover those ladies up, you know, or something freaky like that. Very uncomfortable.
Yeah.
But if there are male people in the space and I'm trying to introduce him to them, whether it's a
Friend, yeah.
friend or otherwise, it doesn't matter if it's a relationship situation or if it's just like a group of friends I'm hanging out with and like 3 of them are male and those 3 male people are actually in relationships with the female people that are in the room, he won't even acknowledge them. He just passes right over them. It's like, oh no. Yeah, I don't care about that, you know, and he'll just keep talking to me. He'll only address conversations to me unless there's another female person in the room, and he will talk over every male person around until this past Christmas. He's here at the house and he acknowledges JD and gives him a Christmas card for the first time in like 3 years. He's like, well, you've been around long enough, so
I'll acknowledge this.
Here's
was
the
like pretty solid so far.
Christmas card for your 3-year anniversary.
Right,
Oh my
sure.
God.
Yeah. It's fucking embarrassing. That's embarrassing to me because I'm like, oh, Dad, this is so and so, and this is so and so, this is so and so, and this is my dad Jerry, and he's like, yeah, what? By the way, I just want to let you know that tomorrow your sister's coming into town, and I'm like, thanks, Dad. Thanks.
It is what it is.
Yeah.
How about the time that, well, you were there over the summer or in September at the wedding, and I was in a wedding. My stepbrother got married, so the wedding was at my mom and stepdad's house, and Chan was the officiant. She married them, which was lovely. And so we got our makeup professionally done, which was an absolute fucking nightmare, you know, and I was like the first one in the chair to get my makeup done, and like all the girls are there and they're just like staring at me and thinking, am I really that grotesque? Like, why are but they all have these like just horrible looks on their faces.
Have you ever, here's the question though, have you ever had someone put makeup on you professionally before that, or semi-professionally?
No.
Okay.
No.
Okay.
I
Go
never
ahead.
have. So like the whole entire time, I'm kind of getting like
Scared?
like nervous, like gas bubble feeling in my stomach because I'm like, something is seriously going wrong with my face and I can't see it. So they're all staring at me weird, you know, and she does like the whole makeup and then she sprays a ton of finishing spray on it. And I didn't even know in the makeup world that finishing spray was a thing.
Yeah.
So I guess what it does is it sets your face. Like it like cements that on. Now the maid of honor, her husband was there with us and he was like, because he was the one that was driving us from one location to go get married.
Yeah.
So he got back to the house where we're getting makeup and hair done, just in time for the shit show to happen on my face. And he's like in the corner just staring. And he's not a man of many words. He's a very nice guy. And I can read on his face, like, shit's fucked up, right? So I get done, right? And I go in the bathroom, and Kelsey, the maid of honor, is in there. And I look, and I'm like, what the fuck? I look like a geisha. Like, my face was so white, and you could see the ring around my face. So it was really bad. I had fake eyelashes on. So, but anyway, so me and the maid of honor were like, we fixed my face. We scrubbed it off. You know, we went through the cabinets and found makeup remover. It's not even our house. And we're like going through and like, so we fixed my face. We get to my mom and Danny's house to get married, right? And we're all down in the basement because the wedding procession is going to come out and like walk down the thing. It's all outside. And we're all lined up. And my mother, who is super sweet, but sometimes she just doesn't get it. Okay. So we're all standing, and Chan was outside on the patio waiting for all of us. And like the bride and the bride's moms are taking pictures and stuff. And I'm standing there, and mind you, it's a packed house. Like there's like what, like 100 people like outside in a tent, and it's quiet out there. And my mom comes up on the patio, and she looks at me, and she goes, "Oh my God, are you wearing fake eyelashes? Oh my God, you're wearing fake, Amy, you have fake eyelashes on."
Oh my God.
I was mortified. I was like, thanks for telling everybody out there that I'm wearing fake eyelashes.
The first time you're wearing fake eyelashes.
Very first time. And I already feel like fucking stupid with them on, you know, because I got these things, and like they were scratching my eyeballs, you know, and then I got to walk down. I'm the girl with the fake eyelashes on, like, you know.
Oh.
Walking down in front of everyone.
Even funnier to me was like I went inside the basement after this happened because all the girls go back in through the sliding glass door. Amy's like, "Mom," and her mom like is like, you didn't know this, but your mom was drinking already. Like she had a few glasses of wine, and she was like, she's looking around like, "What did I do?" Like she didn't even understand. And then everybody walks back in for a few more minutes. Like, okay, everybody just calm down for a second. We all walk back in, and you're telling me this story, but like you told me that you looked at everyone in the room after your makeup was done, and you were like, "So how does it look?" And no one said a word to you.
Like, shit.
Nothing. It was like crickets. The crickets weren't
like,
even chirping.
Like, none of y'all are my friends. None of y'all my friends.
Well, if they're about to get their makeup done too, they were probably afraid to piss in the makeup.
Listen, no, because here's the thing, okay? I got my makeup done. I went in the bathroom. Kelsey helped me scrape that shit off. Kelsey did her own makeup.
Like scraped it
like,
off.
No one touched my face. So, literally, we had to scrape it off.
Oh, God.
The other chick got hers done, okay? The other bridesmaid. And I had fixed mine while she was getting hers done. And I was sitting out in the living room. She got done, and she came around the corner, and I was like, so Kelsey needs you to help her zipper her dress. She's in the bathroom in there. Like, you're gonna. She was like, "Why does she need me to help her? She looks like fucking like just ridiculous with her face on. It looked exactly like mine.
Like round circles of blush.
Round,
you know, like the little
sponge,
Cupid lip.
So the makeup artist didn't do like a test run or anything. She was just hired for the day.
Yeah, she was hired, and then she showed up like a half an hour late. So like she was rushing. Yeah, it was just it was messy. So and I didn't want to say to her, and I didn't want to hurt the makeup. I didn't want to hurt the girl's feelings that was doing the makeup. You know what I mean? It was bad, but like I didn't want to be like, hey, you jacked everything up. So when the other girl came around the corner, I was just like, you know what? Kelsey told me that she's going to need help zipping up her dress. So go. She was like, why can't you do it? And I was like, I don't know how. I was like, just
Get your ass in there now.
go,
Those are
just help
complicated.
her out. She needs
Go
your
in there
help.
and
Go
take
make
the
that happen.
spatula with you so you can scrape that shit off.
No, I had a bag and like there was still some like remnants of like the makeup remover and stuff and like all this soap stuff that I had brought with me that could possibly help her. And I was like, you're going to need, Kelsey also needs this bag. So take this with you. Just go. Why does she need a bag to zip her dress? I said, you know what? I don't know.
Just take it.
Just take a
Yeah.
shit.
Just go in there. Yeah. So it was I think, but the most embarrassing part of that day was having my sweet dear mother announce to
I think it wouldn't have been
half
so bad.
of Eastern New York that
I don't think.
No. Something just came to
eyelashes.
mind. Go ahead, you go. Sorry.
I was just gonna say, I don't think it would have been so bad if she wouldn't have been like under an area that was like concrete and a roof, and it just kind of her words just echoed through the yard. That was
and everybody's like paying attention to that area because they're like, when's this gonna happen? You know, we're already late. Like, what's going on? Oh, is there problems? And then all of a sudden you hear, you know, the stepmother-in-law to be screaming, fake eyelashes, Amy wearing them. Like, yeah.
Actually, I've got a it's sort of embarrassing, but not really to me. About inappropriate explanations.
Yeah.
So my college graduation, I did not witness this, but this was told to me. I am from a very blended family. So at this graduation is, in terms of parental units, is my mother, my father, my first stepmother, and my soon-to-be second stepmother, as well as aunts and uncles and my grandmother. So I was still close with my first stepmother at the time, and I told my dad when they got divorced I was still going to be friends with her. So I invited her to my college graduation. My mother obviously came because, you know, and my dad, I invited him, and I said, you know, hey, Marilyn's awesome. If you want to bring her with you, you know, bring her with. And he's like, are you sure? I said, look, if people can't behave, it's their problem, not mine. So they're all seated in this big row, and my grandma, who was older, my mom was like the surprise baby, the surprise 40, thought it was a flu. Turns out it was a baby. So my grandmother was much older. You know, she was at the time late 70s, I think, like 70 something.
Yeah.
So, and she looks down this row of people. So she looks at my aunts, she looks at my uncle, my two aunts and my uncle were there, and then she looks down and she sees my mother, my first stepmother, and my soon-to-be second stepmother, and my dad.
Oh no.
And she looks down the row, and I think it was like aunt and uncle were on her one side, the other side was my dad and the variety of mothers. And she looks down, and she turns to my aunt that's sitting to her side, and she goes, Mark's fucked half the women in this row.
But did she lie?
No, she wasn't lying. Literally, there was my mother, my first stepmother, soon to be second stepmother, who's still my current stepmother. They've been married 20 years now.
This is why I can't wait to be old, because you can say whatever the fuck you want.
Nobody said boo to her. Like, they just laughed.
They wouldn't. This is why being old is awesome.
Yep. And oh my god, when I heard this story after the fact, I fucking lost it. I laughed so hard because that was my grandma. Like, she looked like this, like, demure white poofy hair polyester pantsuit. But good God Almighty, she could spit out some zingers.
Yeah, can't wait. That's gonna be awesome.
But I
I
love
had-
that. Mark's fucked half this row.
Yeah.
So when Amy was telling her story, one popped in my head because it was kind of similar in nature, in terms of someone yelling something at you and it's being embarrassing. So I can't believe I'm about to tell the story because I actually completely forgot it because it's really bad. So this involves kind of some explanation. So I'm the oldest out of my siblings because the rest of my siblings are half siblings to my dad's side. I'm about 5 years older than my brother. He's 4 years older than my middle sister. Younger sister is not involved in this story. So I'm about 9 years older than my sister. And I was home for summer and I was hanging out or whatnot. And we were going to go swim in the pool. So me and my sister, I'm like 15 years old. So, 14, 15, somewhere around there. So, your body's changing, going through things or whatnot. And we're going to go change into swimsuits. And that's like one of my first time back from the summer. And we're changing into swimsuits. And my sister looks at me, I have pubic hair. She goes, "You have hair." Just like points at it. "You have hair." And I'm like, "Yeah." And I'm explaining to her, she's a kid. She's like 6 years old, 5, 6 years old. You know that. They just point out whatever. It's like, "You have hair." And I was like, "Yeah." And I'm like embarrassed by it. But, I think we're fine. Everything's cool, whatnot. And she's pointed at it. Come, we get changed. We go there. She's like, why? Asking why, how they do it. Why? And it's like, non-adults, they get hair there. They just do it. And I'm trying to explain it as I can as a 15, 14-year-old. So we go to the pool, which happens to be at our house. We have one of those stand-up pools. Brian's like, it's just one of those pop-up pools that you fill up or whatnot. And it happens to be by my bedroom, just on the opposite side. So we go around the house, we go out to the porch and go to the room. And then my brother is in the pool. I did not know the window was open in the bathroom. My brother's in there with his friend, who's the neighbor kid, who had a crush on me from that. And I was just all like, so they're like laughing when they see me. It's like, "So you have hair?" They like said it back to me, and I was just like, "What the fuck is going on?" I was like mortified. And so I'm 5 years older, so he's like 10, whatever, little boy crush or whatnot. I was all like, it doesn't matter. He's a kid to me. But it's just like, still, they're 10 years old, so they're like, all that type of stuff.
They had no idea what they're talking about. They just...
Yeah,
exactly. It's like, oh my God, why?
That reminds me. I had a crush on a neighbor boy when I was young. It was the other way around. And it was my friend's older brother. Her and I were probably like 10. I think he might have been like 6th grade, something like that. He was like a middle school kid, and we were still elementary school kids. And she was a bitch. Like, I'm be straight up with you. Like, she was mean to me. She used to pick on me really bad and just like, I think the only reason why she hung out with me is because I put up with her stupid shit. But like, I spent the night at her house the one night, and they lived like 4 or 5 places away from my parents, so it wasn't very far. But I spent the night with her, and we got up in the morning, and we're having Cheerios for breakfast, and I'm sitting there, and her brother walks out of his room in his boxer shorts, just his boxer shorts, and she said something stupid that was not that funny, but it was super funny to me at the time because there's this boy I have a crush on walking through this house in nothing but his boxer shorts. And I started laughing, and Cheerios and milk flew out my nose.
Oh, no.
And across the table. And he just stopped and looked at both of us and just like, he was like, "God, elementary school girls are so gross." And he just started Yep. I'm never gonna have a crush on another boy again. Like, I was done. I was over it.
That sucks. Being embarrassed in front of your crush is definitely probably some of the worst.
Oh, God, that's the fucking worst. Like, I have
a story similar kind of to Kate's, but it was out of high school. I mean, like my first, I'll call it like serious relationship. And my parents must have heard me talking to him on the phone or something. Because next thing I know, I'm coming home from class from the local community college or somewhere. I was coming home, and both my parents are in the kitchen. I come in and say hi, And they just kind of stop and they just look at me. And I'm like, what? They're like, are you having sex? I'm 19 years old, but I'm just like, and they're like, is it your first? And I'm like, yeah, he's my first. He was not my first, but I didn't want to admit that.
Yeah.
I was just like, I gotta go, and I ran up to my room and I called him and I was like,
Oh no!
you'll never believe what just happened to me. Oh, so mortified. And so of course, like they then like just after that for a while they just were like looking at me, and my mom was like, "You're being careful, right?" And I was like, yeah.
Yep, sure am.
yeah.
Oh my god!
Super careful, Mom.
Obviously, I was careful because no babies, but it was
Yeah.
still, it was like I was 19. I was not expecting to have that. I was just like, I was like, what am I supposed to say? I was
Girl.
like,
Oh my god!
My mom probably would have wished I was having, like, she wanted to know that shit. I was in fucking kindergarten and she's handing me like information about like sex and you and like all these old 70s like mommies and daddies look like this naked. You look like that too, and you'll look like that when you get older. I was mortified about sex most of my fucking
And
life.
the thing is, like, that was the first time they've ever brought up sex to me because, I mean, growing up, my sex ed was high school, middle school and high school, and my sister. Like, when I started my period, it was like, you figure that shit out on your own. It basically was like, here's some pads, and it was like, oh, and here's a book. Here's a book for you to read. And that was pretty much it. And, like, I had to ask my sister, and she was like, you just get used to it. And, like, trying to do tampon, I had to, you know, just, I'm sorry, guys who are listening to this.
Cody, when you were talking about being safe, like your mom saying, are you being safe? Cody put in the chat, we both wear full plate mail and stand 12 feet apart.
But it was just like, the fact that they brought that up, I was like, why now? Like, you've never had any interest ever before. Like, why now?
Whereas my mom found out 3 months after I got my period. She found out that I got my period, thought it was my first time, and she's like, I have to tell your dad. And I was like, no, you don't. You don't have to tell anyone. You don't have to.
The only time, like, the only reason my mom knew I had started my period was because she found the underwear. And she was like, oh, you started. And I was like, yeah.
You know, I grew up with an older sister who was just, she blossomed early, and she was just this beautiful flower, practically perfect in every way. It was always like, here's our daughter Nicole, and here's our other daughter, Nicole's sister. You know, that was like that was my life. Okay.
Yeah, I Amy, I'm in the same boat as you.
I was a very late bloomer, and I remember getting my period, and I told my mom, and my mom laughed, and it was like we didn't have the talk. And then I remember being in the store, you know, like 2 weeks after the whole period thing, and I hated it. I hated everything about being a girl. I didn't want that in my life. I was like completely, every ounce of me was just rejecting any of it.
Yeah.
And I remember being in the store, and we were like in that aisle, that dreaded aisle that, like, I knew that aisle existed growing up, but that was like a no-no zone. Like, I would never go in that aisle. You know what I mean? It was like, no, if I don't go in that aisle,
It doesn't exist.
that shit will never happen to me. You know, that was the mentality I had. So I remember being in that aisle, and my mother said to me and my sister, she was like, okay, girls, like, get what you need. And I was like, yeah, no, I'm good. And my mom and my sister turned around. And now, mind you, my sister was just this beautiful, beautiful. Okay. And she was just like everything that every girl ever wanted to be in the 90s. You know what I mean? That girl.
Yeah.
And here I am, like 14, wearing my Jurassic Park shirt. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
that was And so my mom says, okay, girls, go ahead and pick out what you need. And I was like, no, I'm good. I'm good on that. I'm all set. And my mom and my sister turned around and were like, what do you mean you're all set? Like, how can you be good? Like, you gotta get it and put it in the cart. I said, no. I had that. I'm done with that, and I'm never doing that again. And now,
Like,
mind you, the aisle is full of like feminine women all over the place. You know, like it's like the music is different in that aisle. It smells of powder. Just flowers and beautifulness and
rainbows and unicorns.
Weird things like lubes and test kits and like it's like a science experiment in there. And I'm like there, you know, skinny, little tiny Amy. And I was like, no, yeah, I'm good. I had that. I'm good. We're just not going to revisit that again. Like it's not happening.
We're over it.
My sister.
Don't need to be a woman anymore. Thank you.
Right. I'm good. So my sister turns around and she was like, you're an idiot. She was like, you don't get to say that you're done. She was like, and it was like literally like that moment, all I could see was her face. And I heard the music, the soundtrack of this. And she's like, you're an idiot. You don't get to choose if you're going to do it again, because guess what? You're going to have it for the rest of your life. I just remember, I'm like just
mortified.
Every sense of like any ounce of Amy ever blossoming just wilted in that moment in the middle of the maxi pad aisle at like giant festival foods at that point, you know? And it was like, you're an idiot. You're going to have it for the rest of your life. And I was just like, oh, no.
Oh, God. So there was one time I was at work.
Brian wants to know if she said it real loud for the whole store.
Oh, yes, because it wouldn't be an Amy moment unless Suzanne, my mother,
everybody,
or Nicole, my sister, has to announce it to the whole entire world, because that's how my life is with them. Yes. Yeah.
Sorry.
I'm at work, and of course I work in an elementary school, and I guess my period decided to come early, and I didn't have anything with me. And not thinking, I work in a school with a bunch of women to go ask them. No, I go down to the nurse's office, and of course, because it's an elementary school, they don't have tampons.
Yeah.
Nope.
I mean, I had that thick, like a fucking diaper.
Yep.
I put it on, and I haven't worn pads in probably God knows how long since I've started. And I put it on, and I'm walking, and I'm like, this is the most awkward.
It's probably chilling there.
Can I just
probably for the past like 10 years, first time use.
Why did they do that? Like, why? I mean, you're giving it's the most embarrassing thing when you start this shit, and they always give you like this thick thing that you're supposed to stick in your underwear. It's got tape on it. It makes all kinds of fucking noise, and you're in the bathroom.
So I'm like trying to walk.
It's fucking terrible.
I'm trying to walk, not look awkward, and one of my coworkers comes up to me and she goes, "Here's a tampon." Here's a tampon. I think you need it. I'm new to this school. And another one of my coworkers comes up. She's like, "If you ever need it, in the ladies' room, there's a cabinet, and there's always tampons in there." And I was like, "Thank you." And I was mortified because you could tell. She was like, "Never go to the clinic and get a pad." I was like, "Nope."
My son embarrassed the hell out of me about menstrual products. I had him in the cart. He had to be 4, 5, something like that. And we're running through the store, and I stopped to get pads.
Mm-hmm.
I despise tampons. I don't like. I wear them if I'm going swimming or the beach, but I do not. They're not comfortable.
Yeah, I don't
for
wear
me,
them
but
myself either.
yes, for me they're really uncomfortable. And so I get my pads, and I buy 2 different types. I buy the thin. Oh, you can live a relatively normal life one, and I also buy the real thick day 2 jellyfish giving birthday.
Oh my God.
That is a description if I ever heard one.
Wow, man.
Sorry for all the boys in the chat or
If I
watching
could
us
high
live.
five you right now, I would.
That is
high-five you
probably.
right now.
I'm gonna have to see if there's such a thing, or make a meme for
wow.
our Instagram. The jelly. I gotta write this down. Jellyfish.
Write that, yeah, please. Write that
Jellyfish
down.
giving birth. That is one of the best descriptions I've ever heard of. That.
Yep,
Sorry.
giving birth to the jellyfish. So I buy the variety.
Brian says, "Oh my."
Wow.
Anyways, I've got like the little unobtrusive rectangle of thin pads, and then I have the monster bag with the real thick ones.
Oh my God.
Hey, day 2's no joke. Come on now.
Not. I know. You're fine.
I'm actually saying that more to the chat because I'm picturing all the guys going, but my son, he's like 4, maybe 5.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, Mommy, why are you buying yourself diapers? I don't need diapers. I know they're not for me. In that booming 4 to 5-year-old voice, no modulation.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, Calvin, they're not diapers, honey. Don't worry about it.
Elijah was probably like 11 when my purse fell over in the living room, and I have a steamer trunk as a coffee table. I have it now. I had it then, and my purse fell over onto the coffee table, and a tampon fell out, just a little travel one, because it's a just in case situation. And it spilled out onto the coffee table, and Elijah's sitting there with one of his little friends, one of the neighbor kids. And all these neighbor kids call me mom. And he's like, Chris walks over to the table and he picks it up. And Elijah's like, no, don't touch it. And Chris is like, what's this? And I was like, well, that's for when a girl has her period. And he's like, what's that? And Elijah's like, don't tell him, Mom. He doesn't want to know right now. None of us want to hear it. Don't tell him. And Chris is like, no, I'm really interested. I really want to know what this is about.
Sorry, honey.
And I kind of went through a very, very clean and not descriptive sort of this is what happens to girls. And Chris looked at me, and Elijah's mortified. He's over in the corner with a pillow on his face. His legs are crossed. He's all like this. And Chris is just sitting there the whole time yeah. He's 11, this 11-year-old kid. And he's like, this is very interesting. I need to look into this further. And I'm like, okay,
I need to look into this.
Yeah, he's like, I don't quite understand, but I want to know more. And I'm like, well, do your research, buddy. You'll figure it out soon enough.
Oh God, it reminds me of the TikTok that I sent you guys in the chat where it was the cartoon of the uterus and getting mad at the woman and declaring war. I saw that.
I'm gonna be honest with you guys. I watch those TikToks with Sis because I don't watch them by myself because I don't do the TikTok thing. So once every couple of days, Sis and I will sit down together and we'll watch the TikTok stuff together. And every once in a while, one of them will go off and she'll be like, what was that? And I'm like, don't worry about it. It's all right. Just don't even acknowledge it right now.
Just one time, me and my ex-husband, we were in the grocery store, and again, we were in the dreaded feminine aisle, and I was buying my supplies, and he was standing there. Mind you, again, it was a busy day, and there were women in there, And he's like, I guess he was just standing there while I'm like picking stuff out. And I hear him go, always with wings. And all of a sudden he goes, I don't get it. And he started clapping his hands down in that area. And he was like, where the hell are you flying to? Why are you it's not. He's like, I don't get it. Where are you flying to, Amy? Where are you flying to?
Oh my god. Oh my god.
That's
Actually,
why I go to.
sorry.
Oh, sorry. Okay, you say.
So when Nick and I first got together, we're in my little apartment, and I, had been shopping for myself, and I always made sure to have stuff at hand. But I guess I had run out, and I didn't realize I had run out. I thought I had another bag, tucked under the sink, and I didn't. So she shows up, and she shows up with a bang as always. So I can't go anywhere. I got nothing. I'm out. I'm like, hey, boyfriend of approximately 2 months, can you come here for a second?
Oh God.
So I'm sitting in the bathroom. I literally cannot. There's no faking it with some toilet paper and like shuffling off to the, waddling off to the Kroger and coming back. Nothing. I'm like, so I kind of ran out of my supplies. I thought I had another bag. I don't. Could you maybe run to Kroger and pick me up a bag? I don't care. Just get me a bag. Of pads. Just get me a bag. I don't give a shit. Wings, no wings, whatever. Just get me something to soak this monstrosity of a murder scene up.
You just totally lost him at number 1, pads, and then you said wings, no wings. That poor man was like,
he went to Kroger. He went to Kroger. He went directly to the aisle, got exactly the brand, type, everything that I use.
Oh, good for him.
And also bought me chocolate. But he gets to the cash register, and this is, they don't do this really anymore with the microphone, price check, aisle, whatever. It wouldn't scan. Price check, register 2. Bag, like over the overhead. They price checked this poor guy for the bag of pads. But Nick literally bought me correct. He noticed the brand, he noticed the type, like he got it exactly right. No, I mean, no wonder I married him. After that, come on.
At that point, you're like, yeah, you're a keeper. Not letting you go.
But he bought the right ones, and he even got price checked. That's the worst part.
I don't even JD doesn't even know sometimes when mine starts. I don't like to share that information with anyone. Like, I'm very, it's very personal for me, and I don't share that stuff with anyone. Like, things go in another trash can out of the bathroom. Like, I do not enjoy anyone knowing that stuff.
See, Jason only knows when he sees the evidence in the trash can, and then of course, the one time we're up at Chan's.
Oh, honey!
I had a leak through the tampon, through the under, onto the leggings. And I looked at him and I was like,
"Gotta go to Target."
And he's like, "Why?" And I'm like, "Gotta go to Target." Because
I had a blowout.
Luckily, I was wearing black leggings, so you really couldn't.
The black ladies have saved so many times.
Oh God, yeah.
Yeah, it was quite embarrassing. And he just went with the flow. He was like, okay.
No pun intended. Go with it.
Yeah. So of course we pay for the stuff. I go straight into the bathroom at Target because I was like, not waiting.
Yep.
Speaking of things being on the back of your pants, okay, so I used to, this was years ago, because this little boy, he actually just graduated high school, and I'm like, no, he's still like 5, but I would watch my best friend's son, because she, like, her husband worked from like 4 a.m. to 11 a.m., like some crazy shift. And then she would have to be at work at like 8. I didn't have to be at work until 1. So like I did like the overlap of like no parental guidance. The child came to me. So I got ready for work, And I told him, I said, okay, Antonio, we have to go to the dry cleaner. I have to pick up stuff from the pharmacy and we have to run to the bank. And then your daddy is going to come meet me at the mall to pick you up before I have to go in to work. Cause I worked for a retail company at the time. And, so we did all our running around and went to the dry cleaner, went to the pharmacy, and then we went through the drive-through at the bank. And that day I was feeling particularly like good about myself. I had new pants on, new boots, like this shirt. So I was just all in the feels of feeling good about me. Okay. So I was walking a little bit more with like a pep in my step, you know? So we go and we do all this running around. I make my deposit. He gets a lollipop at the bank. We went to Metro Bank. So they were like, it's the red emblem and all that. So we get to the mall and I'm like, oh, Antonio, your daddy's here. I was like, come on, get out of your car seat. So I'm helping him get out. And I had a 2-door car. So I'm getting him out of the back seat. And I was like, where's your lollipop? And he was like, I don't know. And I was like, oh, fuck it. We'll find it later. Right? Let's go. Mm-hmm. So I handed him off to his dad and I go into work. And I was at my store was like a kiosk, which is like a booth in the middle of the mall. Right.
A big
and
one.
It's like
too,
Christmas time. So like I had my whole staff in the kiosk. So I'm outside the kiosk, feeling all good about myself, talking to everyone, greeting everyone, feeling great, selling the shit out of products that day.
Mm-hmm. I have a feeling I know where this is going.
2 hours. Okay. So then we have to like rotate and I have to go in and do engraving and like do stock counts and stuff. So at this point, like I'm in the kiosk and I bend over to get something out of the drawer. And my one sales associate comes up behind me and she was like, did you know that you have a lollipop on your ass? A red round sucker with like the safety stick that's like in the U shape. It's not like, you know, the pole. It's like red round sucker right where my butthole would be. Okay. Stuck there. Okay. I'm there for like 2 hours.
Oh my God.
So my ass looked particularly good in those pants. So I'm probably like walking around for 2 hours, like with my ass, like all like, hey, look at me. I had a fucking red lollipop on my butt on black pants. So it just screamed, this chick has a red butthole right there. On pants.
Oh my God.
In the middle of the mall, totally mortified. And it's stuck there for 2 hours. So when it wasn't like just rip it off. It was like, it had to peel off. So all day long, I literally walked around with red residue of that lollipop on my butt.
Right on your hiney hole.
Yeah, and all I could think of that whole entire rest of the day, hey, bud, where's your lollipop? I don't know. Like, dude, you're so new. He probably knew. Oh, it's stuck to your butt, but that's okay.
At least you were wearing white pants.
I mean,
at least it wasn't white pants. But in the same regard, the contrast of like bright red
black
lollipop
and red.
on black pants, and you know, and somebody's wearing them that like felt particularly good about her ass that day. Well,
because you know how you walk whenever you're feeling good about the way your butt looks in a pair of pants. Like, you know how you're walking. You're like, damn, I'm feeling good today. You know, like
I felt so good. Like I walked into that mall like, I am here. You know, like it was just like, here I am. Look
feeling
at me.
Good. Yeah.
I have a lollipop stuck to my ass.
Because that's how you get ants. That's funny. Oh,
yeah. Bright red.
That's
Yeah.
funny.
Yeah.
And then that like moist, sticky spot, like where it was.
Right, and like
Oh.
when I would sit down and like stand up, it would be like Velcro, like.
You hear it, yeah.
And my
Yeah.
associate was just like she said it in a way that like it was kind of like you know your shoes untied, right? It was like
Yeah.
you
It
know
was
you
like
have
that.
a lollipop stuck in your butt, right?
Like nonchalant, like
Like
So-
some little like 18-year-old chick. You know you have like a lollipop stuck to your butt, right? No, I didn't. Thanks for telling me. Great.
2 hours too late.
But here's the thing.
Right.
At least she told you and you didn't go home
Right.
and find it then. You know what I mean? Like you had the
Right.
opportunity to get it off of there. Even if you had the residue on your pants, you still like it wasn't there all day.
Yeah.
2 hours
You know.
deep into the day.
2 hours deep. I know.
Beats,
I know,
it, beats it beats opening your car, sitting down, and getting a surprise you didn't want.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, considering where the placement was, I mean, that would have been uncomfortable.
Oh my.
It's almost like when you forget to take the sizing off your jeans or something,
Oh yeah, or
And
like
it's
the shirt size that's like right on your nipple.
and someone goes
Yeah.
like, oh, you, and they come up to you and like they rip it off, and then
Yeah.
you're just like, oh god, now they know the size of my pants.
That happened to me in college. I had bought a black, like long sleeve sweater shirt thing, and the company put a long 6-inch sticker down your boob with your size, but it was a black sticker with gray lettering.
Yep,
I-
that one's right in.
I
Didn't
missed
see it.
I didn't see it, and I'm standing outside my physics class, waiting for us to get in. And my crush at the time was standing like 5 feet away when one of my friends goes, "Oh!" I was like, "Oh, thank you." Grabbed it, shoved
And
it.
it makes that sound. Like everyone turns and they're like, "What was that?"
Oh.
Yeah.
It's just like,
Oh, it was embarrassing. Thankfully, I mean, I was able to pretty much quickly kind of be like, "Oh, thank you." But I had already gone through like 2 classes that day.
I had a pair of jeans I had just gotten, and I didn't realize, and it was like right on the butt.
Oh
Down
no!
the butt.
Yeah,
And
they
my
do it
friend
down the
comes up-
back of the leg too.
My friend
Mhm.
comes up, and she like all of a sudden I hear this, and I was like,
But
and then she looks at it and she goes, "Ah, I didn't realize you were that big," and I was like, "Thanks, bitch."
Oh,
Damn sticker.
that's not nice.
That was
But I
nice.
like
then she wasn't
at
nice.
least they tell you it's not like you walked around all day with toilet paper stuck in your pants or something, you know.
Or your
like-
your skirt stuck in your pantyhose, like
That one, that's a
Yeah.
good one.
I've had to save a few women leaving like the bathroom where like their skirts are all. Then I'm like, you may not want to go out right now. They're like, what do you mean? I'm like, your skirt. They're like, wait, oh, thank you so much.
Yeah,
Come on,
pull it out.
have the common courtesy to
Yep.
give
Yeah.
the heads up before, or like the toilet paper. It's like, yeah, you may want to check.
I want to say, like, talking about embarrassing stories, I keep trying to think about stuff that has happened, and I can't remember stuff that's happened specifically to me. Like, I remember stories that friends have told me more than I remember anything that's happened to me for whatever reason. A lot of the time I just avoid situations too, so I don't really get myself into things like that. Like,
I think the most common is kids are probably the most embarrassing, just because they're curious, and so they just don't know what they're saying is so much.
or they just say weird shit sometimes, or not using their heads and not thinking about what they're saying before they say it.
The most honest people are drunks and kids.
And they're not on. Children are not honest. I
It's
don't
observant.
care. They're
Little,
not.
like little kids.
No,
like
they're
little
blunt.
ones.
They're blunt. They're not honest. There's a difference. A
Yeah.
child will lie to you about
Yeah.
whatever they want to lie about, but they will also stand in the middle of the store and be like, "Mommy, why aren't you wearing a bra?" Just because they're assholes. Like, there's a fucking difference there. Like, that's not a thing. Like, they're not honest. They like to embarrass you. There's a huge difference.
But then we get to embarrass them as they get older, so it works out well.
Oh, it's so fun. It's
I
so
know.
fun.
I am under strict orders when Cal goes back to in-person school. not to ever talk to the girl he likes.
Oh.
I'm like, okay, honey.
You know what I realized this week, and because my daughter has been all virtual
Mm-hmm.
this whole school year, has not stepped foot in a school building. On Wednesday, yesterday was St. Patrick's Day, and I didn't even realize it was St. Patrick's Day until I was going through Facebook and I saw all the pictures of all the small children dressed in green to go to school. And I realized I wasn't at Target on Tuesday night at 10 o'clock buying a green shirt. I have not had to run to Target the night before to participate in Crazy Hair Day, Crazy Sock Day, Spirit Week, Valentine's Day, St. Patty's Day, Christmas bullshit.
100th day of school.
Yeah,
we didn't
like I didn't have to glue cotton balls to my kid's face to send her looking like an old man. You know what I mean? Like I'm like, this is fantastic. So I made a commitment to myself that next year, now she'll be in 7th grade, so she probably won't want to participate in any of this, but
no.
I don't think I'm gonna like stress about that next year. I think I'm just gonna.
I wouldn't.
You know,
Yeah.
no,
I never have. I figure if my son didn't care enough to tell me, he didn't care enough to participate.
The thing is, that's the one nice thing with, well, for me, I've been in person and virtual on and off throughout this year, is that, I haven't had that stress of going, oh crap, I don't have this for school, or I don't have this. It's just like, I literally, when
because
I was
as
virtual,
a teacher, you're obligated to participate.
Right.
Yeah.
And so when I was virtual, I rolled out of bed, went downstairs, got my coffee, went back upstairs, got on the computer. And actually, like this year for St. Patrick's, yesterday for St. Patrick's Day, our PTA actually did up little like goodie bags for us. You had like necklaces and all the stickers and stuff, and I was like, sweet.
Yeah.
I literally
don't have to worry about that.
I literally found a shirt that had some green in it, so I put that on, put the damn necklace on, and the little goodie bag had like a green ribbon with shamrocks on it, and I just put that up in my hair with my scrunchie, and I said, I'm done. I'm good.
There you go.
Good enough.
Done.
Well, anywho, ladies, it's about that time. So we'll do some wrap up. But first, I spent my time making this GIF for you, ladies. This is a jellyfish being born.
Oh.
I love it. I love it.
I found that specific clip, and I was like, yeah, that describes it probably as best as I could visually.
Yep, and that's kind of what it looks like.
Sorry.
I think we may have scarred Amy. I don't know if she's been able to handle us, or she's kind of like,
no, I'm just thinking like all the poor men that are watching this are probably like,
I think they're used to it.
Yeah.
I think most of them are used to it at this point. If they haven't, why are they still watching?
Yeah.
I mean, Jeremy actually said he gets daily updates from his daughter.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Like, good.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you hear guys telling stories about embarrassing things that happen to them throughout their life, and it's like when they're young, they had an accidental boner in class, and had to cover it with a book or something. So why is this really any different?
Exactly.
Right. It is what it is. Well, anyhow, we'll go through the route first.
Shelf gravy all over the place. Check us out on Facebook and Instagram. We did a show last night on the Realm of Collectors YouTube channel. We do that every other Wednesday. JD shares some tips and tricks, and I'm going to start doing some stuff on the show too. I'm a little nervous to do things on camera other than banter and bullshit, so we'll see how that goes.
Okay.
The Nerds Have Spoken podcast. They upload every Thursday morning. Check them out. They have a great lineup of their cast is growing, and they have a great lineup of guest appearances. So, watch that. Have fun.
Kat, anything you want to shout out?
Just keep an eye out. Masterpiece Shitpiece Theater is going to be posting here and there. He does some fun stuff. Him and Sam have done a couple things, and so shout out to him. And shout out
Nice.
to Dust Bites for our music.
That's at the end. I got that one. Don't worry.
Oh, okay, good.
Amy,
I
Amy,
just want to make sure. You
Yeah,
know,
yeah.
'cause Amy was
I
awesome. She's good people.
was supposed to send in some graphics, but I never
Mhm.
did. So next time I'm on, hopefully we'll
Yeah.
have that all set up. But yeah, so everybody just be kind to each other. That's all I have to say.
That's nice.
Also do
Yes.
our follow shout outs for like Am. So of course, if you're interested in anything, she is a graphics art designer. She crochets, sews, all those type of stuff. Not sews. Does she sew? I don't know.
Knits.
I don't know.
Knits, crochets, all that jazz. So if you have anything in mind or whatnot, or just want to purchase some for art, she does put it up. She says she tries to do it weekly, so definitely follow her for there. If you need any also model help or prop help or anything of that nature, purchases, Hole in the Ground Productions for Casper and her husband. So if you're interested, take a check out on that. As mentioned before, of course, we have our wonderful music by Dust Mite. So check out his music on pretty much any music platform. And yeah, to put that on with ya. And then you can follow us on any of your favorite social medias. Mostly Instagram is the most interesting out of the Facebook. And of course the live feed. And I think that's everything, unless anyone else has something to add before
Wish an early happy birthday to Chan.
Happy early birthday.
Thank you.
How old are you
Saturday,
turning? 21?
43. Thank God I'm not 21. I'm just kind of amazed that I've made it this long. I'm like, holy shit, I'm gonna be 43. Damn, that's awesome. I think it's pretty cool.
Every year.
Yeah.
It's another blessing
Yeah.
for sure.
Yep.
Enough said that. I hope you all have a wonderful Thursday and see you next week. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.